They call him Louis.
Louis Ronnie Stone,
but he's pops to me. He had a style and a smile and a horn that reached high seas. He was ambassador of jazz. He was a stone gas. They call him Louis.
Louis Ronnie Stone,
but he's pops to me. And the music go round and round, and it came out sweet. And he gave it to the world, and the world began to swing. 'Cause it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. They call him Louis.
Louis Ronnie Stone,
but he's pops to me. Hey, the cat could really scat. Pops knew where it was at. He took the sound of New Orleans up to the Great White Way. That was Louis Armstrong, and he did it his way. And whether you call him Satchmo or Louis, he's still the tops. They call him Louis.
Louis Ronnie Stone,
but he's pops to me. Go round and round, and it came out swing. And he gave it to the world, and the world began to sing. 'Cause it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. They call him Louis.
Louis Ronnie Stone,
but he's pops to me. Hey, the cat could really scat. Pops knew where it was at. They took the sound of New Orleans up to the Great White Way. That was Louis Armstrong, and he did it his way. Whether you call him Satchmo or Louis, he's still the tops. They call him Louis.
Louis Ronnie Stone,
but he's pops to me. He's pops to me.
They call him Louis, but he's pops to me. The great late Miss Norma Miller, along with the Billy Bros Swing Orchestra, to open this All That Swing program, all about music, swing, and culture of the 30s and the 40s. And this is Big Daddy. Hello, everybody down there. I'll do the best I can to entertain you for the next hour while listening to either known and unusual swinging songs. The main focus is on the swing craze, but we will move from the early 900 to nowadays in order to have a wider side from the roots of jazz to the evolution of swing music and dance. This particular program that you will listen to for 36 episodes is part of the Swing European Network project co-financed by the European Union. The Italian Swing Dance Academy, whom I am a board member, represents Italy in this 3-year project that has 13 partners from 11 different European countries, and whose main focus is on the artists' mobility in Europe. And now let's get started, the episode number 26, with the great Count Basie and his friends. Shorty George, 1958.
to be very slick with somebody else's chick. They call him the sneakiest kind, the backdoor bandit, Shorty George. Whenever your chick turns cool and acting like you're a fool and get you to trouble in your mind to understand it, think of Shorty George. If she's cute and abused, beware of him. If you don't, then your chances are slim. Oh, Shorty sure will wail on somebody else's fail. No need for no chick of his own. If yours is handy, Shorty George will get you and me too. Let him in. That's the end.
It takes a woman to tell you Shorty George is sneaking around. Take this happy sound, Shorty's husband's babe is gone. By the time it gets you, Shorty hit you and gone. First you'll scoot out, then he root out, then he come on, then you're gone. By then you know it's true what he can do, can make you suffer later on.
The cat's a big dragon, another bag. Never ever dug him with a chick he didn't cop. Take it from me, wait till you see. Soon a cat'll catch him, then he's really gonna flop. I know it's gonna happen to him, yes sirree. Wait and see, I know. Reason why I know, cause one of his ladies used to be my gal and Shorty used to be my pal.
Shorty George. Hey, sneaking around.
I hear you calling his name. Cheating is his game. He'll steal and that's a fact. You'll never dig him, darken your door. Come in the front, he'll go out the back.
Chick ever catch his eye, you can kiss your chick goodbye. The women gave him fame, so they won't forget his name, Shorty George.
Yes, yes, yes. The great Count Basie Orchestra with some friends, whose name it was Dave Lambert, John Hendricks, and Annie Rose. Lambert, Hendricks, and Rose, singing this Shorty George, recorded in 1958. The band was the Count Basie with Wendell Kelly, Ted Jones, Snooky Young, John Newman on trumpets, Henry Coker, Benny Powell, Al Gray on trombones, Marshall Royal on clarinet and alto sax, Frank West, alto sax and tenor sax, Frank Foster, Billy Mitchell, tenor saxophones, Charlie Fox, baritone, Ralph Sharon piano, Freddie Green on guitar, Eddie Johnson on bass, and Sonny Payne on drums. Yes, Shorty George, ladies and gentlemen. And now let's go meet another great artist that was Teddy Wilson. The perfect swing pianist, Teddy Wilson, had a light and flawless but often hard swinging stride style that gave one the impression that he never made a mistake or played a distasteful note. Wilson originally studied violin, E-flat clarinet, and oboe before settling on piano. He started working professionally in 1929, toured with Speedweb's Territory Band, 1929 until 1931, settled in Chicago and gigged with Erskine Tate, Eddie Mallory, and other local band leaders. Wilson recorded with Louis Armstrong Big Band in 1933 and also worked with Jimmy Noon and Benny Carter that year. After playing with Willie Bryant in 1934 and 1935, we've been hearing it before, and also soon, Wilson began to record as a leader with All-Star Swing Groups, a series that continued until 1942. often using Billie Holiday as his vocalist. The pianist, who had recorded with Benny Goodman in 1934, became a member of the Benny Goodman Trio, which also included Gene Krupa, first on records in mid-35 and then officially in early 36, although he was never part of the Benny Goodman Big Band and was thought of as an added attraction, along with Lionel Hampton, who made the trio quartet. Teddy Wilson broke down many racial boundaries. His distinguished nature and soft-spoken manner were major assets. After leaving Benny Goodman in 1939, in April, Wilson formed his own big band, but the orchestra lasted a little bit more than 1 year, despite some fine records. By June 1941, the pianist was leading a sextet that lasted until November 44. He was back with Goodman on and off during 1944-1946. Worked on CBS radio, became a jazz teacher, occasionally at reunions with Benny Goodman, and performed with trios during the 50s, 60s, 70s, and early 80s. Teddy Wilson's style was virtually unchanged after 1935, and his repertoire always consisted of vintage swing standards. Yet, despite predictability, most of the time he was able to play quite enthusiastically in his timeless and definitive swing style. And now let's listen from the big band that he had from 1939 until 1941. We're gonna listen a song called 71, Teddy Wilson Big Band. Yes, yes, yes. Teddy Wilson, 71. That was the song we've been hearing from the big band recorded in 1940. And now let's jump over to the neo swing movement with a band from Detroit, a band formed in 1997. The band is in 96, sorry, in Detroit, and the name of the band is The Atomic Fireballs. And the particular thing of this band that is more rocking than swinging in a certain way is the voice, is the rough voice of the singer John Buckley. The record we're gonna listen the song from was recorded, Torch Displays was recorded in 1997 and in 1999, and the song is named Lover Lies. So the Atomic Fireballs from Detroit at All That Swing by Big Daddy. The song once again is Lover Lies.
But she tied me to the bedpost, put my stuff out on the lawn. She said she knew of a love that never dies. She discovered how her love lies. She stood there silent with anger in her eyes. In the past she never guessed it, but she finally realized. She thought she knew me, it should come as no surprise. She discovered how her love lies. I ran around with Lucy Brown a time or two. Not long ago I did not know she knew. She made her acquaintance. Now her patience is finally through. She says I'm just like all the other guys, and she thinks that is no wonder, and the boast is on the rise. But there's one thing I cannot compromise, when I discover how my love lies. Now night is falling, thoughts running through my head, of shutting my eyes sober and waking them up dead. Ain't have a suspect, she'd say she's justified, 'cause she discovered how her lover lied. When she discovered how her lover lies.
Yes, 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 the Atomic Fireballs with the raspy voice of John Buckley, Lover Lies. Well, now let's step back to 1952 with Bull Moose Jackson. This time not with the Buffalo Bearcats or the Lucky Millinder Orchestra, where he gets the fame from, but along the Tiny Bread Show Orchestra. The song was a hit, and the name is Big 10-Inch Record.
We should blow about 4 or 5 chords and let them get in the groove and then go on into the introduction. I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool.
Master 9178, cut 9.
Call Lucky Eddie.
6-9. Got me the strangest woman. Believe me, this chick's no cinch, but I really get her going when I take out my big 10-inch record of the band that plays the blues. The band that plays the blues. She just loves my big 10-inch record of her favorite blues. Last night I tried to tease her, I gave her a little pinch, but she said, now stop that jiving and get out that big 10-inch record of the band that plays the blues. Well, the band that plays the blues. She just loves my big 10-inch record of her favorite blues. I cover her with kisses when we're in a lover's clinch, and when she gets all excited, she begs for my big 10-inch record of the band that plays the blues. Well, the band that plays the blues. She just loves that big 10-inch record of her favorite blues. My gal don't go for smoking, and liquor just makes her flinch. See, she just goes for nothing except my big 10-inch record of the band that plays the blues. Well, the band that plays the blues. She just loves my big 10-inch record of her favorite blues.
Bull Moose Jackson with the Tiny Bread Show Orchestra 1952 Big 10-Inch Record. Enough said. Okay, now let's step back to 1936 with the Andy Kirk and his the 12 Clouds of Joy. Andy Kirk was not much of a musician, playing bass, saxophone, baritone, and tuba in the ensembles of his early bands, before becoming just a frontman, and he never wrote or arranged any music. But his 12 Clouds of Joy was a major Kansas City-based orchestra of the 30s and one of the first to catch on beyond its Missouri base. He grew up in Denver and played a bit of piano and alto sax before switching to his main axis, and worked in the early 20s with George Morrison's band. In the mid-20s, he joined Terrence Older's Dark Clouds of Joy in Dallas. A dispute over the money led to Older's departure in January 1929. Kirk was soon appointed leader, a looked the part, and his big band became based in Kansas City. They recorded during 1929-1930, and at the time, its most significant members were violinist Claude Williams and pianist-arranger Merle Lou Williams. The Andy Kirk Orchestra was off records altogether during 1931-1935, other than a recording date in 1931 under the leadership of Blanche Calloway, but worked steadily in Kansas City and in the Midwest. In 1936, Kirk relocated to New York, and his orchestra during the next 7 years recorded often for Decca. And here we go with the song. The first song recorded on 1936, that is Walking and Swinging. Andy Kirk and his 12 Clouds of Joy. Yes, Andy Kirk and his 12 Clouds of Joy with a song written by his pianist Mary Lou Williams. And the song was Walking and Swinging, 1936. And now, today you are watching the episode number 26, and we are proceeding by reading several books, and this time we're gonna read Swinging at the Savoy, memoir of a jazz dancer that is no one else than Miss Norma Miller, a book that she wrote in 1996, the first one ever about the Lindy Hop. So we arrived when Norma and the other guys were in Hollywood for recording the movie Elza Poppy, for recording the dance act on Elza Poppy in the movie, and they got back to Osweego, where on the East Coast, where Whitey had opened a restaurant and a bar in Osweego. And Norma was just coming out from a close meeting with an actor named Roy Glenn. When we reached Osweego, Whitey met us at the train with his cars and took us to see his new place. Seeing him at the station was a happy moment, for no matter how disgruntled we felt, we had all missed him. We got into the cars and were taken to Whitey's bar. It had a bar and restaurant in front and living quarters in the back. Whitey was in partnership with Charles Buchanan, and he had the Lindy Hoppers who were not working in a group there with him. His two top girls, Lucille Middleton and Paul Louise Andrews, were in charge of the restaurant, and Whitey took care of the public relations and getting the soldiers to know about the place. Because in Osweego there was a military base, so all the black soldiers were there and no bars for them. So that's the reason why he opened a club, a bar, and a restaurant there. And this was a very segregated army, and black soldiers had no place to go after hours. Whitey's place became their place away from camp. He had all of the black soldiers' business in and around Syracuse. It was very successful business and a smart move for Whitey, who was already planning his retirement. Now he had only 2 working groups, and his time was taken up between us and the new business. When we arrived at the bar, we had lunch and finally got down to the business of being paid. Again, I was terribly disillusioned. We had our salaries cut up. Mine looked like Swiss cheese. There were deductions for everything. Our hotel bill hadn't been picked up, and we had been charged for all extras. I was so mad at Whitey at the moment that I wished I could just walk away, but I wasn't prepared to do so quite yet. I could only say, just give me what you think I got coming. Then Whitey told us the news Frankie had held back. We were to open in Rio de Janeiro in 2 weeks. The rest of the group seemed delighted. They just mumbled about the rush, but it didn't fit into my plans at all. Rio? I asked. I'm not going to Rio. I'm going back to L.A. The only reason I came back was to get paid. Now I'm gone. What are you talking about, Rio? Whitey tried to talk about, but my mind was made up, and I told him so. I don't care what you say, Whitey. I can't go, and that's that. I got plans, and I'm not gonna break 'em. Nothing you say. The rest of the group slipped away from the table, and Whitey and I were alone. He scooted closer to me and put his arm across my shoulders. I already know why you are so upset. Now, what have we talked about so many times in the past? What have I told you from the beginning about getting involved with men? They're not good for your career. That's not for you, Norma. You better than that. Frankie the traitor. I was only working for you in LA and nothing else is your business. I was fuming. Whitey was calm and paternal. Why are you upset with me? Whitey asked. You know I'm only telling you this because I care. You're like my own daughter, sweetie. I just can't see you throwing away your career over Sandman. Go to Rio. If you feel the same when you get back, you can go to LA with my blessing. I was defeated. I could not say no to Whitey. I was just too confused and upset to argue any longer. I know you're right. You always know what's best. Okay, Mac, I'll go to Rio, thanks. So there it was. I was going to Rio. We were leaving in such a hurry that we had to get our passports right away. It all happened so quickly. There was no more time to argue. However, there was enough time for one more change. Dawes was drafted. Even Whitey couldn't argue with the U.S. Army. Dawes and Mickey would not be going to Rio. So that left three teams, Frankie and Ann, Al and Willamette, Billy Ricker, and me. That was Norma Miller before flying down to Rio de Janeiro. And now let's listen to a modern band, Laura B. and her band from UK. The record is Just a Little Love. They are my longtime friends, all the musicians there. And the song is That's a Rockin' Good Day. Way. Yes, yes, yes. The powerful voice of Laura B. and her band. That's a rocking good way. From their record, Just a Little Love, a record that's been out on 2020. From UK, from Great Britain. And now let's step back to 1945 with the great Tony Pastor, Anthony Petritto, and his orchestra. Tony Pastor was the tenor sax player and singer as well of the of Artie Shaw Orchestra. So when Artie Shaw quit the orchestra in 1940, he set up his own big band. And the song we're gonna listen to now is a song written by Louis Prima, Please No Squeeze the Banana.
Please no squeeze the banana. Buongiorno, Mr. Policeman.
Riley the cop would always stop on the corner of Tony's fruit stand. He'd help himself to anything on which he could lay his hand. Riley did this quite often. Plenty of fruit he would soften. Till Tony got sore, he inwardly swore. Then he began to shout, hey! Please no squeeze the banana. Because when you do that, she's no good for not. Hey! Please no squeeze the plum. Cause when you squeeze the plum, you put him on the bum. You touch a this, you touch a that, you touch a everything. You push a this, you push a that, you never buy nothing. So please don't squeeze the banana. If you squeeze the officer, please just squeeze the watermelon. Squeeze the banana. Because when you do that, she's no good for not. Please no squeeze the plum. When you squeeze the plum, you put him on the bum. You touch a this, you touch a that, you touch a everything. You push a this, you push a that, you never buy nothing. So please no squeeze the banana. If you squeeze the officer, please just squeeze the coconut. You touch a this, you touch a that, you touch a everything. You push a this, you push a that, you never buy nothing. So please don't squeeze the banana. If you squeeze the officer, please just squeeze the watermelon.
Please no squeeze the banana.
Yes, squeeze the watermelon. You touch this, you touch that, but you never buy anything. Tony Pastor with his Italo-American accent, with a Louis Prima rendition, the rendition of a song of Louis Prima that was Please Don't No Squeeze the Banana. Great, Tony Pastor, 1945. And now let's have a change of pace with the mambo. This mixture of swing, Latin beat, and jazz. That's the mambo. There was the mambo craze in the 40s, and the Savoy Ballroom as well became a place for mambo dancers. And the Lindy Hoppers had to move elsewhere. We already said it in the previous episodes reading the book Swinging at the Savoy. And we're going to meet right now Ima Sumac, an incredible talent, internationally renowned, from festivals in her native village of Yochochan, high in the Peruvian Andes, to concert stages in the world's most cosmopolitan centers. Audiences have acclaimed her voice as it soars and plunges dramatically through its fabulous range. She had a wide range, really impressive. The song we're gonna listen to is named Gopher. Yes, what a voice, ladies and gentlemen. Ima Sumac, Gopher, that's a mambo, great mambo. Whoa, let's step back to 1938 and our Swing Craze. And let's dance to the great Chic Webb Orchestra and Got the People in My Shoes, Ella Fitzgerald on vocal.
Got a pebble in my shoe, buddy, ouch. Got a pebble in my shoe, buddy, ouch. Got a pebble in my shoe, buddy, ouch. I gotta keep dancing all the time. How'd it ever get in my little toesy? Never thought a pebble could be as nosy. Gotta shag it out of my little hosey. Gotta keep dancing all the time. Now it's going to my heel. Maybe I got socks appeal. I know how a blue jay feels. Hoy-doy-doy-doy-doy. Got a pebble in my shoe, buddy, ouch. Got a pebble in my shoe, buddy, ouch. Only one thing I can do, oh, I gotta keep dancing all the time.
Got a Pebble in My Shoes. Chick Webb Orchestra and Ella Fitzgerald, 1938. And now let's fly to 1984 with the Manhattan Transfer for a song called Baby Come Back to Me.
Did dot did it did dot did it did it did dot did it did dot did it did it did dot did it did dot did it did it did dot did it. Baby, come home to me. Did dot did it dot it. I sent my baby a telegram asking to be the man, begging her to come back home to me. Oh, I dotted the I's and I crossed the T's, and I'm begging pretty please, honey, honey, come back home to me. Baby, I want your love. Baby, I need your love. Honey, honey, come back home to me. Got to have your love. Can't live without your love. Honey, honey, come back home to me. Oh, I made mistakes, that's the truth, but the biggest one I made of you. Honey, honey, come back home to me. I thought that you would understand. I'm just a one-man man. Not like before, so come back home to me. Baby, I want your love. Baby, I need your love. Honey, honey, come back home to me. Got to have your love. Can't live without your love. Honey, honey, come back home to me. Did da da did da did it did it did da did it did da did it did it did da did it did da did it did it did da did it. Baby, come home to me. Did da did it. I said, come back to me. Come back to me. Come back, baby, come back to me. No, come back to me. Come back to me. Come back, baby, come back to me. No, come back to me. Come back to me. Come back, baby, come back to me.
Yes, yes, yes. The great Manhattan Transfer from the record made on 1984. Bop Doo Wop. The song was Baby Come Back to Me. And now let's proceed with Norma Miller. What happened when they went down to Rio? We left New York for Rio on a cold winter day, December the 1st, 1941. We didn't linger on deck, but hurried below where we had a small celebration for those few friends who came to bid us bon voyage. Our second day out, Frankie surprised me with a birthday party in the dining room after dinner. It was my 22nd birthday, so it was December the 2nd, 1941. He had the captain get me a birthday cake, birthday candles and all. The entire dining room sang happy birthday to me. It was wonderful, and I was really thankful that Frankie cared enough to try and cheer me up. He knew I was sorely missing Roy. The trip was a swinger from the sailing date. It was as though everyone went out of their way to make it memorable, anything to make the passengers forget the threat of war. The Second World War was already on, because in 1939 the Nazis, the Germans invaded Poland, and so everything started. But the USA was not still into the war. In this setting, it was difficult to believe that a war was going on abroad. Everyone on the ship was trying not to think about it. I'll never forget our arrival. As we neared the Rio harbor, I thought that it had to be the most beautiful harbor in all the world. The magnificent Corcavada stood above all of Rio. From a distance, it looked like a giant cross, but as we approached it, we could see it was the figure of Jesus standing over all the people of Rio. It was out of sight. Music began to play the traditional Brazilian samba, the official music of Brazil. I felt that pulsating rhythm and was overwhelmed, moving to it as naturally as to swing. The Brazilian have a swing all their own, but it has the same African roots as American jazz. Brazilian blacks gave it a samba beat, and American blacks swung it. The ties were there, and we felt them immediately. Everything about Brazil was swinging. The driver took us along Copacabana beach, where the road winds all the way to the Casino de Urca. There was nothing in America to compare with this casino. It was on the beach facing the harbor, and when you stood on the patio looking across the harbor, you had a breathtaking view of the statue of Christ. Rio immediately filled a special place in my heart. It was so full of beauty, and the Brazilians were as good as their city. We were told that we were not to gamble. Frankie met with the band while we had a chance to explore the casino. So we were told politely that we were not to gamble, as the casino profits were paying our salaries. Our first rehearsal, we paid particular attention to the music. We had Bessie charts. The Carlos Machado band was the big band in Rio. It had 18 musicians with the regular brass and horn section, but the rhythm really made the band. In addition to the drum, it had a tambourine and a big shell with the beads around it, which had a special sound that got a person into samba. With our basic charts, our music was considered real swing music, and the band used our music for their own sets. When the band began to play though, we heard something different. Along with the swing beat that the drummer was playing, we now had an extra set of rhythms that we had never heard before. They played the hell out of that music. The Casino de Urca had everything. Three big bands, a large chorus line like the Rockets, and over 100 band singers. It was something like Las Vegas today, and Norma is referring to Las Vegas in 1996, where she's been working for a long time. When we hit the stage with the band, I knew something special was happening. It was the samba beat. When we finished, the house went wild. Everything else stopped. We knew we had found a second home. So that's the arrival in Rio in December 1941 for Norma, Frankie, and the other guys. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, you've been hearing and watching All That Swing by Big Daddy, music, culture, and swing of the 30s, and history of the 30s and the 40s. This program that is composed by 36 episodes, and this one was the 26th, is part of the Swing European Network project, co-financed by the European Union. The Italian Swing Dance Academy, who I am a board member, represents Italy in this 3-year project that has 13 partners from 11 different European countries, and whose main focus is on the artist mobility in Europe. So, before saying goodbye, I'll tell you what we're gonna hear as a last song of this episode, and we're gonna meet a new band, the Bratislava Hot Serenaders. This is a modern band. The record was made in 2008, and it was a tribute to Duke Ellington. And the name of the record is Bratislava Hot Serenaders presents Edward Duke Ellington. The song we're gonna listen to is The Creeper, recorded by Ellington in 1926. So I'll be seeing you next month. Hip hip!